Okay. This is a quick guide on Raze satchel charges. I was gonna show one of my boys how to do it, but I forgot, so I'm just gonna make a video, okay? Couple things. Thing number one, when you drop a satchel, there's a radius of about 1 meter
There.
where the satchel is effective.
Satchel out.
You can know the radius if you drop it down and then you full sprint with the knife and you jump
Satchel out.
like that. This is about the radius right there. If I do
Satchel
it
out.
and then I take another step, okay,
Satchel out.
maybe I wasn't full, like I take a step, it's already not anymore, okay? So it's about that. It's a semicircle around the satchel that propels you. So, what does that mean? The closer to the middle of that semicircle, the higher you go, and the farther away from it, the farther you go.
Satchel out.
So if you pop it right here, obviously, I'll go pretty high. If I do it at the edge of it, I don't go high at all, but I go farther, right? So the overall proper way to do it
Satchel out.
is by jumping, pulling your knife out,
Satchel out.
jumping when you're at the satchel,
out.
and when you're at the height of your jump, you blast it. It looks like this, something like this. Okay,
Satchel
so
out.
you're gonna practice this.
Satchel out.
The satchel follows momentum. So if you have like a gun out and you do this, you don't get as much speed.
Satchel out.
So here, I'll just pick a spot. So I'm gonna put it like right in the middle
Satchel
here,
out.
and I'm gonna run. I made it here with my knife out.
Satchel out.
I made it here. Makes sense. The other thing that could increase your speed is a high jump. So if you drop something like this and you jump, you're gonna go very far because your character is at a higher velocity than you would be while running. In Counter-Strike, there's little like velocity checks for jumps. There isn't in Valorant, I don't think. There isn't like speed. Gameplay stat is just the shooting everything. So, but that's the main concept for single satchels. Okay, you toss it,
Satchel out.
you jump it, and when you're at the height of your jump, you toss, you make it again. If you need to go farther or faster, but with no speed,
Satchel out.
you wait till you start falling. So it looks like this. I didn't go high, but I went a little faster and a little
Satchel
farther.
out.
And of course, if you need to make a jump, you jump and then you basically immediately do it. Or you jump before the satchel, right? So if you jump before the satchel to where the height of your jump is above the satchel, you'll get the most amount of high you can get. Now to double satchel, you're gonna do that first satchel that I just showed,
Satchel out.
like this. And then while in midair, you're gonna quickly look down and double click your satchel key. So you're gonna place a satchel and detonate it in midair. It looks like this.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
That second satchel is detonating pretty much as soon as you drop it.
Satchel out.
Okay?
Satchel out. Satchel out.
The same rules apply here. If you need to get somewhere higher, instead of jumping before the satchel, you toss the satchel at an angle to the ground instead of straight down.
Satchel out.
You toss it,
Satchel out.
and like you look at like at a 45-degree angle instead of a 90. And when you wanna go as fast as possible, you look at a 90-degree angle. So this is as fast as
Satchel out.
possible basically,
Satchel out.
and lower, and this is
Satchel out.
sort of higher.
Satchel out.
Don't know if that makes sense, but uh, that's the idea. The first satchel,
Satchel out.
if you wanna go faster, you drop down a little, you wait a little longer to pop it, and then you look straight down and pop the second one. If you wanna go a little higher, wait,
Satchel out.
jump a little further,
Satchel out.
and pop the satchel looking at an angle. You can't pop the satchel looking forwards because you're just gonna get popped back. So
Satchel out.
like that. So that's a fail. You need to like use this you know, this angle in a smart way to accomplish what we're actually trying to jump. When you're jumping, you need like an objective. You need to practice jumps basically. This is obviously if you like, oh, I want to get over there from arches, for
Satchel out.
example. Well, that requires
Satchel out.
a lot of height. So I'll use that second type of satchel, right? Where I'm not looking straight down. And if I want to make it to generator,
Satchel out.
I need
Satchel out.
more speed to get farther, right? I got a lot farther than there. So that's the main idea. There are some set jumps that I'm gonna try to show you. So this is from generator.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Two over here on top of here. I almost did it.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Starting,
Satchel out.
like I said, at a higher position, you fall, you get more speed, and you can go further.
Satchel out.
So starting on top of the generator
Satchel out.
and doing this kind of thing
Satchel out.
is a lot more distance than if you were
Satchel out.
randomly from the ground.
Satchel out.
Like you can get all the way up here. I'm just not practiced with this. I'll try again.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
There you go. So you get as much speed as you can on the first satchel, and then you do that 45 to regain some height, and then you make it over here. These are really hard and they take a lot of practice, but the core mechanic is what I explained. The other thing to use the satchel for is to peek with it. So let's say there's a guy here.
Caution here.
They know I'm here. You want to peek with it. You need to use the same semicircle logic, except on the wall. So if I want to go fast this way, I can't just do
Satchel out.
this. That's not going to take me anywhere. I need to be
Satchel out.
around
Satchel out.
that edge of the semicircle to get as much speed as possible,
Satchel out.
right? You also want to do
Satchel out.
this, you know, with a running
Satchel out.
start. Same concept, running start and being at the edge of the
Satchel out.
semicircle for the most amount of speed. So you're here. So that's how you do that. The other thing it's used for is to get off of a peak. So the opposite, right? Like you get a kill here and you
Satchel out.
quickly double tap your
Satchel out.
satchel key to move into cover faster. That's the other thing you can do. The third thing that you could do back in the day, but I think it's fixed, is these walls used to be able to get broken by like one satchel. I think this is fixed
Satchel
though.
out. Satchel out.
Yeah, this has been fixed a long time ago.
Satchel out.
Satchels used to do like absurd amounts of damage to sage walls and these doors and the barriers, like the spam barrier here,
Satchel out.
like used to like almost destroy it by itself. It doesn't anymore. So okay, two more things and then I'll stop talking. Air strafing, and okay, three things: air strafing, bunny hopping, and using the ultimate. Okay, so air strafing. when you
Satchel
use
out.
it, you can get a lot more mobility on those double satchels by, instead of just going straight, you hold either A to go left or D to go right, and if you drop that second satchel after you do the turn of your mouse, you can actually do some pretty crazy turns. So for example, this
Satchel out.
satchel,
Satchel out.
where you can go to B-Link from like over here, all I'm doing is tossing the
Satchel
satchel,
out.
running. Once I jump, I hold D and I look to the right and I do the normal double satchel. So,
Satchel out. Satchel out.
and I'm here. Same thing the other way around,
Satchel out. Satchel out.
right? This is a little trickier because my sense is very low. If you have higher sense, this is a little easier to do. But that's how
Satchel
you
out.
turn corners,
Satchel out.
and this requires a little bit of practice, of course. And the other thing is, when you
out.
bunny hop in this game, you retain a little bit of momentum. So if you bunny hop right after you double satchel,
Satchel out.
your hop is actually pretty good. So
Satchel out.
like here I didn't get that much speed, but if I do like a
Satchel
speed
out.
one,
Satchel out.
there, you see that first bunny hop kept going quite farther. So you can use that to increase your speed. And another thing I've remembered, the gun pulling animation. When you double satchel, throwing your satchel, I think, is the only animation that this where is it? Controls equipment? Yeah. This auto equip priority, if you set it to strongest, it means if you have your knife out and you use an ability, let's say a nade,
Grenade.
you pull your gun out. The best gun you got. If it's the pistol,
Grenade.
you pull the pistol, right? Satchels are the only thing that this doesn't apply to. When you toss a
Satchel out.
satchel, you keep your knife out because it's crucial for the jump.
Satchel out.
They were smart about this. So what you need to do is, after the second satchel, you need to pull your gun out mid-jump. And the reason for that is, when you do that, you cancel the cocking animation of your gun. So you see this animation. If you have my knife out, I toss
Satchel
the
out.
nade and I pull my gun out immediately. It skips that animation. So if I'm jumping
Satchel out.
somewhere, I'm like,
Satchel out.
pull a gun out, I'm ready to fire. Much faster than if I just do
Satchel
it
out.
with my knife out,
Satchel out.
and here I pull my gun out. So you need to pull your gun out in midair. This also
Satchel
takes
out.
some practice, but
Satchel out.
like that. The gun doesn't cock, that's because you did it right. That concept is the exact same for the ulti. So look how long it takes. I'm gonna click my ulti key and I'm gonna spam left click. You're gonna see how long it takes for me to actually fight.
Here comes the party. Ult's ready.
That whole like setting up animation thing, you can cancel that with a satchel. So if you click your ulti and then you satchel,
Here comes the party. My ult's ready.
that animation gets cancelled. So the proper sequence to do a double satchel with an ult is you toss the first satchel, I'm not gonna toss right now, but you jump, detonate the first satchel, pull your ulti out, then use your second satchel. So it looks a little something like this.
Satchel out. Here comes the party. Ult's ready.
Which is much faster than doing first satchel, second satchel, then pop ulti. You pop ulti in between the satchels.
Satchel out.
If you do it
Here
like
comes
this,
the party. My ult's ready.
takes the whole, like almost a second. I don't know how long it is, but you're in the ground at that point, and
Satchel out.
this
Here comes the party. Ult's ready.
I can get it off even before I land, right? So that's the order, and that's how you do these. You used to be able to do triple jumps with the ulti. They've nerfed that to hell. There's really no jump in the game that requires it anymore, or that's possible anymore. But it's still a very good move. Like if you're integrating everything, so you do a double satchel with an air strafe and an ulti. You're pretty hard to hit. You're up in the sky and you can shoot the ground, which is where you want the ulti to land, right? So like if I want to ulti over there or like farther away even,
Here comes the party! My ult's ready.
I can strafe to the right and land the ulti. So again, this takes a lot of practice, but that's that. Ascent is a good map for it for
Satchel
these
out.
practices
Satchel out.
because there's a lot of different jumps on it,
Satchel out.
like this jump here.
Here comes the party! Ult's ready. Satchel out.
This
Here
one,
comes the party! My ult's ready.
right? Things like that. Things like that. So that's it. If you have any questions, fucking ask me, okay? There you go.